She's not on yet. It doesn't look like.
Actually.
Yeah.
Have to double check the volume because I was kind of playing with it and was giving presentations and trying to match my voice to the size of the crowd, basically.
It's okay. We'll figure it out.
I believe it's the last one. I'm saying next week I may just open it up with the night sky for people to sit and stare if they need a break from the day.
That's some people will take advantage of that.
We used to do that on a regular basis. When Denny was in, we'd have, I remember one semester it was like every Friday we would have that half hour for anybody who's just tired and wants to sit somewhere quietly, get away from the phone and didn't
Didn't she call it like siesta or something?
Charlotte siesta.
Yeah, there you go. She's here.
Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing okay.
Wonderful.
I think that's good right there, Barbara. All right, good. We got sound taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. This is our last one for the semester.
Ooh. I hope people enjoyed it.
I'm sure they have. They wouldn't be coming back if they,
True.
didn't enjoy it.
Turn off some of the lights just so they don't drown out the stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glowing inflatable. Shows you all the spectrum of light. Jenny was in the hardware store. I think she was just teaching that section and she looked at, oh, it's so cute. Next thing was here.
We might have a light group today. I know there's a retirement party that's happening. So
Oh, exciting for that.
there's a few people. There was a retirement party that I went to on Saturday that had 3 retirees in our division alone. And so
Wow.
yeah, so we might be a little bit less than normal. But you want to a couple more walk around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 12:30. Asked a favor of you, make sure your phones, put them on silent, please. Barbara is going to be lowering your chair back, so just be aware of that. And welcome to Mindfulness Monday. This is our last session for the fall. We will start back up in the spring. So welcome. We are lucky enough once again to have Vivian Hermes, certified mindfulness facilitator, lead us through this. So thank you very much for everything you do for the wellness program, Vivian. We appreciate that. So go ahead and take it away. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Jason, for always being so generous and offering for me to join you all. So, what I thought we would do for this final one is explore the topic of rest. And a lot of times we think that we need to create special conditions to experience rest, or that we need to be put in a particular place, or the situation has to change for us to experience rest. So I thought we would experiment with bringing rest in. And we'll start by first take a few stretches from the body, stretching your arms above your head if that's comfortable, and moving them to the sides, stretching your feet, pointing your toes, flexing your soles, and then letting it all relax and become heavy. Let them go limp. And then from here, taking a couple of deep but comfortable breaths in, and exhale out with a sigh. And your exhale can be as long as it feels comfortable, doing that a couple of times on your own. And so we'll start in exploring this topic of rest by creating tension on one part of the body while giving focus to another part that doesn't have that. So the way we'll do this is by clenching a fist in one hand, but letting the other hand stay limp and soft and heavy, creating a deep fist in one hand. This is helping you connect with the sensations of tension in contrast to those of rest. And see if you can keep the attention as you maintain that fist on the actual hand that's at rest, that's relaxed. And then slowly releasing the fist and letting that soften, go limp and heavy, and noticing what that feels like. So you can take note of any areas of the body that feel restful. We actually don't have to have rest or pleasant sensations in the whole body, because we always have the option to move our awareness to different parts. More often than not, our attention gets called to those areas that need some special attention or care. But let's begin by focusing on a restful part of the body, wherever you find it. It might be at the feet or at the hands, might be the legs. Begin to use the label of recognition, and that label would be rest. So you could say the label out loud, softly, in a whisper, or just in your mind. Just using it in a very matter-of-fact tone as you recognize this area is experiencing rest. Every 5 or so seconds, rest, rest. And with each exhale, allowing the body to soften, to sink deeper, You can allow the attention to move to other areas that feel restful, continuing to use the label rest. And you might be feeling something other than rest in particular areas in the body that call your attention. And rather than getting caught up in what it is, what's causing it, see if you can just label it as feel. So, really being present for the physical sensations that the body is expressing. This is how the body communicates with us, is through physical sensations. And we're going to do our best to take note of those areas that feel restful and label them as rest, and those areas that have other very strong sensations. Maybe they feel unpleasant, but labeling those with the label feel. That is, I'm feeling you. I know you're there. Feel. And rest can be both physical and emotional in nature, and we're going to explore both. But in the same way that we're testing out the labels of feel and rest, I invite you to bring your attention to your feet and toes and just anchor into your feet and toes for a moment, noticing any and all sensations that are there. You may even want to roll your ankles gently and spread your toes, scrunch them, point your toes and flex them. And as you do this, noticing what activities they trigger, what sensations they bring up. A quarter of all the bones in our body are found in our feet. It's a very intricate part of the body. So is there tingling or throbbing or vibration or movement or twitching? Any sort of tension or aches in and around the feet? You might also feel temperature, might feel cool or warm. They may feel dry or damp. Overall, it may feel pleasant, unpleasant, or neither one. Doing your best to be present for what the feet are communicating in this moment through sensation. Continuing to use the labels of feel or rest for whatever you may find. Now moving the attention up through the calves and shins and thighs and upper leg. Sort of sensations are you experiencing in the legs in this moment? If you're seated, you might feel the knee joint bent. You might feel the back of the legs against the chair, various points of the leg making contact, other areas being exposed and not making contact and having no pressure on them. Might even notice where the hips and the buttocks make contact with the chair seat, the sitting bones pressing into the seat. And here too, there are sensations on the inside of the legs, on the surface of the legs, and taking note of that. Recognizing that you might find pleasant sensations and unpleasant sensations, but whatever we may find, we're opening ourselves to it, inviting some softness, some relaxation if it's available, holding the intention that it soften and relax if that doesn't feel accessible right now. And continuing with the label of feel, of rest. Allowing the legs to just become heavy. And now moving the attention up into the torso and the trunk of the body. This is where so many of our functional organs sit. So reflecting on how many organs are here working together that you might notice that they're there, whether it be the stomach or the intestines or the beating of the heart, and others that you might not notice. So taking notice of those. What sensations they're offering in this moment. And you can acknowledge them with those same labels. If they have sensations there, using the label of feel. If they've softened, using the label of rest. Taking note of the front of the body and the sides of the trunk and the back, all the way up to the neck. All of these are offering up some level of information through the sensations. Allowing yourself to be present for them. Feel. Feel. Now gently moving your attention to the hands and the arms. What sort of sensations are in these areas? On the surface, on the inside. Feel. Rest. Feel. Allowing these hands and feet to soften, to go heavy and limp. And if they can't in this moment, again, here too, we can just hold the intention that they may soften, that they may relax. And now moving the attention up to the neck and the throat and the head. Noticing any and all sensations on the neck, in the throat, on the scalp, around the ears, around the jawline and face. What sensations do you feel in and around this area? You can check with the eyes. There may be movement, even if the eyes are closed, or there might be blinking if the eyes are open. You might feel the movement of air at the nostrils, or the micro movements in and around the mouth or inside the mouth. inviting all these areas to soften, to loosen, to relax. But as you take note of the sensations, continuing to use the labels of feel and rest, and now with the same exquisite attention, beginning to zoom out so that your attention takes in the entirety of your body, from the top of your head down to your toes and everything in between. And continuing to note, feel for any sensations that come into your awareness, or rest in any part of the body that's coming into your awareness. And as you take in all these different parts into your awareness, all these areas of the body that come together to be you, see if you can offer some love and gratitude for how they come into unison in this way. It just so happens that if one area of the body is not working optimally, other areas pick up the slack in certain ways. Having some gratitude for this body, even if it has parts that are not optimal or limited or encumbered. In this moment, it's working in its best form, even under those conditions. So, offering some reflections around what a unique wonder this body is. And the gratitude can be something as simple as thank you, body. And as we wind down this period of practice, let's take a moment to reflect on the fact that we do practice and gain personal benefits from this practice, but the fruits of our practice ripple to all those who come into contact with us. In that, taking this time for self-care allows us to be a little more patient, a little more kind, a little more generous and compassionate in our thoughts and our words and our actions. And so all are apt to benefit from our personal practice. So thanking yourself for taking this time, knowing that you could have been doing an infinite number of other activities in this practice period, but you chose this for yourself. And taking a couple of deep breaths in the same way that we began, and exhaling out. And with each deep breath, becoming more aware of your surroundings, looking near and far, stretching, regaining your presence in your seat, in the space that you're in, and allowing the light to peer into your eyes if they were closed gently. And I want to thank you all for taking this time to practice. And I wish you a beautiful end to the semester and happy holidays.
Thank you very much, Vivian. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Um, have a great holiday season as well. I will be in touch. We can talk about next semester, okay?
Yeah,
You're a faculty member and you need flex credit, I will have a sign-in sheet. And we hope to see you back in the spring. So thank you very much. Thank you.
take care all.